I keep getting asked why I'm still single and why I don't date anybody and why I've chosen to be single. And I say I want to be single for the rest of my life. They just don't get it. So here's an example that I hope answers some of your burning questions. Recently, my ex, one of my exes, just reached out to me and he messaged me on one of my social medias and he was like, I really need to talk to you. He made it sound super urgent and he's like, can I call you soon? And me, thinking that something was wrong and worried, I was like, yeah, here's my number. Are you okay? It's been 6 years. 6 years, okay? So he calls me and I answer. The first thing he asks me is if I still have that fat booty. I am not exaggerating when I say I will be single for the rest of my life. I hope this answers some of your burning questions. My booty's not even that fat. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm a white girl. It's decent. You know, it's a decent booty.
Not me thinking my man was gonna crash out when I went out last night. Really thought I was gonna be texted and called throughout the night and, asked like, how's it going? Who's there? What you doing? Where you at? Like what I would have done. I seriously crash out when my man goes out. I crash out, and that Find My app is like my go-to app like the entire night. And then I'm literally texting him, okay, like let me know when you get home. Not to be annoyed, but I'm just like, yeah, he didn't text me at all. He said have a good night, like have fun. And then he texted me in the morning. How did he not even wait till I got home? I should honestly be happy though that like he wasn't toxic about me going up, But seriously, I wanted you to feel my wrath and it didn't work.
Nothing hurts more than I'm like her when you fumble a guy and they post like a bitch that deserves them, like I wasn't gonna treat you good, to be honest.
This question is for men who like women. If a woman you don't know approaches you in public and pays you a compliment, do you automatically assume that she is hitting on you? If it doesn't feel like she's hitting on you, then what is going through your mind?
Bro, small matter is I could get a new hoe in the snap of a finger. Big matter is I want you. I want you, stank. You're as fine as when Jesus turned water into wine. Stop being yourself, your nonchalant self, for just 5 minutes. Just lie to me. Tell me you love me. I'm out of options here. Who wants to come manipulate me?
Last night I told this guy that I like him, and he goes, I don't like you like that, and I never did. I was lying. I just wanted to have fun. Something like that. I was like, oh my God. Props to you for being honest. It's tough.
I'm so genuinely curious, like, is your man supposed to give you a monthly allowance? Because every girl says, yeah, your man should be doing that. But every guy says, why are we doing that? Get your own money. But that's like in California. Like, I don't understand. And this is like dating. This is not even like marriage. This is supposed to happen like after marriage. Like, what the This is like a consistent war, gender war between all of us. Like, honestly, I think majority of men are just like, worry about yourself because I'm tired of you using me. And then girls are like, I'm tired of you using me, so you pay me, Like, what is the right answer? Do we really have the right answer? That's why I'm just like, I don't even, I'm confused.
There's a difference between thinking that you're, because when you go out in public, you get a lot of male attention because you dress and you act like, when a man sees a girl with no clothes on wearing panties to the club, he's gonna look and he's gonna hoot and holler and say whatever and give you attention. And then you take that misconstrued attention and you let it get to your head. Now you walking around saying that you are, versus a girl in the club, fully dressed, long sleeve shirt, turtleneck, and she's still getting all the attention. That's when you know that's the.
On today's episode of things men need to stop doing, saving women's TikTok posts. Like, there are men that save every single one of my videos every time I post, and I see it and I think you're a freak. It's creepy. You need to stop doing it. Just stop.
So for my birthday, all I wanted to do was go to a damn pizza place that was 4 hours away.
And what happened?
I woke up on Saturday and said, you know what would be nice? If we went to that pizza place, let's just make a day trip out of it. I went back to the hotel, swam in the pool. Next day, cut all the rides, all that the kids wanted to do. Granted, this is what the reason we're going up here is to get damn pizza. We drove 4 hours, did all they wanted to do. The one reason we went up here is to go get damn pizza. We didn't even get.
Oh my!
It ain't even. It's not even the fact now.
If you're watching this, there's a good chance that you got sucked into my birthday and men post. I just wanted to say that I learned a lot this weekend. And the biggest learning that I had is that most women, including myself, had no idea or have no idea what the male experience is like in society. I had no idea that so many men felt so undeserving of love or celebration. I had no idea that so many men felt just like a wallet, or like, you know, their wives don't necessarily love them or appreciate them. I had no idea that so many men associate birthdays or celebrations with femininity, or their birthday with the day their problems began. Like all these things, you know, I started to see themes and patterns, and it's like, wow, I literally had no idea. And to anyone who replied in that video and who was really honest and vulnerable, thank you. Like that, I can't disagree with your experience. And it did help me understand. To Dr. Audra, thank you. Your reply was incredible. Like just super honest, super clear. And I think the other thing that it showed me is that sometimes we as women have a hard time hearing things we don't want to hear. I had a really interesting conversation with someone about it, and they were saying, like, sometimes when being asked, you know, what do you want to do for your birthday? And the answer is truly, I just want to be alone, or I just want to go fishing or golfing or whatever, and not spend the time with the loved one or with the wife. That's hard for the other person to hear. And it is. You know, if my husband said that to me, I'd be like, hey, why don't you want to spend it with me? But the reality is it's his birthday. It's what he wants to do. And so it's just been a learning experience for me. It's made me appreciate my husband so much more, and show me that I need to show him more appreciation, not just for what he's providing, but just for being there and being a great listener and a great partner. And anyway, to everyone who replied, thank you very much. And we can now talk about something else.
I am genuinely curious what women are looking for in men these days.
How come no one talks about how insane it is that a lot of wives will look at their husband and say something like, I'm your wife, I'm not your maid? And could you imagine if a husband said to a wife, am I your bodyguard or am I your husband? Am I your Uber or am I your husband? Am I your wallet or am I your husband? Am I your delivery guy or am I your husband? Am I your handyman or am I your husband? Am I your tech support or am I your husband? I could keep going with like 10 more, but you get the point. Dudes will spend their entire adult working life providing for a woman and children, give up on hopes and dreams, hobbies, friendships, you name it, only to get that in return. Am I your maid or am I your wife? Why does no one talk about this? Why does no one acknowledge this? And mind you, this is coming from somebody who clowns on men often. Go look at my other videos, okay? They're usually the opposite. But this right here, it's never made sense to me, and it never will.
Me neither, bro. A lot of times these modern women say out-of-pocket stuff, and then when it's brought to their attention, all of a sudden they can't understand why that would be hurtful. But yet, still, they want a man that communicates effectively and a man that understands and really listens and validates their feelings. Well, if a man tells you something, why don't you validate his?
I want to rip the hair out of my skull because I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody. I don't want to look for other people. I find nobody attractive. And the only person I can actually find attractive is the person I should never be seen out in public with. I've tried to look at other people. And then every time I look back at that person and I'm like, it's hell on earth. How dare you? Get out of my head. I wish that I could get something that would just like, and it never happened. It's the only person I like. It's the only person I'm attracted to.
Yeah, good morning. As much as fiends like to hit this, I'm fiending to hit that. I'm fiending to kiss a man's lips. I need a kiss. I need a kiss. I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out. Oh my gosh. I want to go feral.
People aren't gonna like this one, okay? But when I see girls post huge bouquets of flowers and they're going on this crazy first date, this isn't something you should brag about. They're not doing this because they think you're special. Those type of men are doing this because one, money clearly isn't an issue. It's not a problem with them, okay? But two, the main reason they're doing this with a lot of girls. You aren't special. Those flowers got sent out probably 5 times this week. You happen to be on the PR list. So I just wouldn't flex it. To me, a man doing stuff like that when you don't know each other is a huge red flag. It's weird. And I think a man who's more likely to settle down is serious about dating marriage isn't going to do those things. He's going to keep it low key in the beginning. Take you to coffee. Then maybe you go to a cute little dinner, but they're getting to know you. Sending you on a jet and buying you bouquets of flowers and they don't know your last name? Yeah, it's odd. It's odd. Run. That's all.
Well, I'm with you know who. Doing God knows what. The group chat is pissed, but that's okay. Love you guys.
Are the men that like a realistic woman? A woman who barely wears makeup, barely dresses up, barely goes out, and, we look like this 99.9% of the time.
We could have just stayed strangers. You know that? I didn't even know who the fuck you were. I didn't know who the fuck you were. I didn't know anything about you. I didn't even want you. But no, because you drew up all this confidence to say something to me. You said something to me. And I said, let me just see where this goes. And now I'm stuck here obsessing over you. I'm suffering because you, bitch. Because you, bitch. Because you wanna to come in my life because you said, let me see about her. And now I'm the one single, sad, wondering where the you are. Because you left me and I didn't even want you. You left me and I didn't even want you. You left me and I didn't even want you. You left me and I didn't even fucking want you. Oh, you got me up.
This is my question. If all the men grow up and do all the stuff that the women want them to do, who they gonna be with? Because the women not growing up. The women are not growing up in their mind. They're not growing up. Emotionally, they're not growing up. They are getting them degrees though. They are doing that. Y'all ain't that. They are starting them businesses. Y'all are starting them businesses and y'all are getting them degrees. But emotionally, y'all a little stunted. So I just feel like if we gonna ask the men to grow up, I just feel like they gotta have somebody to be with.
So ladies, you might not like what I'm about to say right now, but I need for you to listen. Ladies, stop being so defensive in your relationships and start listening. And when I say listening, I don't mean listening with the intent to debate. I mean listening with the intent to understand where your partner is coming from. See, ladies, a lot of times when our partners try to sit us down and talk to us about things that they don't like in the relationship, things that we're doing that they don't like in particular, we automatically go in defense mode and give every reason around the world as to why we're doing what we're doing instead of listening and empathizing with them and understanding their perspective. Also, ladies, when we don't listen or when we get defensive, other things trickle down into the relationship. Emotional distance being one of them. Our partners feeling like they don't have a safe space to come and communicate, or even our men avoiding us altogether or avoiding difficult conversations for fear of arguments instead of resolutions. So, ladies, instead of automatically getting defensive when our partners come and talk to us, sit down, breathe, listen, and know that it is okay. We are supposed to be teammates in our relationships, not opponents, okay? Just a little food for thought.
You gotta be the lame in the world to screenshot your DMs and Messenger app or whatever just to show that your DMs. Like, bro, lamest bitch in the world, okay? If you're a girl with a half-decent face and a half-decent body, not even, because I got a cousin that's ugly as all hell, and she still get her DMs. It's never that serious, okay? Like, I don't know. And it's like, what are y'all trying to prove? Y'all trying to prove that? Y'all trying to prove that it's like people in your DMs, like, oh, y'all nigga might be in my DM. Who are you trying to prove that to? Because it just gives lame all around. It just gives lame. Like, ooh, I don't care. I don't care. What do you not care about? What is provoking you to do this? Like, I really want to see the mind. Like, I need to go inside my head who does this and be like, take me through the steps through your head that made you be like, I'm about to screenshot my DMs of a whole bunch of things. Because what is the outcome that you're looking for? Do y'all want people to be like, oh my gosh, or like, do you want people to be mad that they're there? Like, do you have somebody you're going after? Wait, do y'all have somebody y'all going after, but y'all don't want to go after them directly? So y'all just have to like shoot everybody down? So you just post everybody? Because that's what it's giving. I don't know.
Women really making it hard for us to have a date, get a date, find a husband, get a man. I don't care about going to no 7-star, 8-star restaurant. I'm cool with a 5, 4-star restaurant. I'm cool with Longhorn. I'm cool with Texas Toll House if that's how you say. I'm cool with Outback. I don't care about the ambiance. I don't care about nobody flipping no chicken in front of me doing no magic trick. It's not even a magic trick. All they doing is making the fire go woof. I'm not impressed by that. I'm not paying. I don't care for my man to pay $900 for no ambiance. Give me the money. If you gonna do that, so if you ask me, that's the waste of money. Then the amount of food that they give you, the absolute disrespect. They give you one piece of fish with a leaf on it. I'm good. I'm really good with Outback. I'm really good with that. I don't give a damn about nobody doing no magic trick in front of me. I'm not about to pay $900 for a meal that's the size of an appetizer. I'm leaving hungry still. Women really acting like they impressed. They leaving hungry still. They just don't tell y'all. But they just want to feel like, somebody did something for them. That was a waste of money. I'm cool. I'm really cool with Longhorn. God, I love steak. But I don't give a damn about seeing nobody flip it in front of me. I have a conversation with on my date, and they damn near about to light their on fire. Woo, you gotta act like you gotta act like you amazing. Nope.
Where are the men that yearning for the girl they met when they were like 7?
Men have less and less spaces as time goes on. There's almost a cycle. A group of men will have our own space. Then a woman will see us having fun in our space. And from us having fun in our space, they're like, I want to join in. I want some of that fun. Then they join in. We open up. More women get integrated into our space. As more and more women come in, certain things start to make them feel a little bit more uncomfortable. So they start changing the rules to accommodate them. And as they accommodate them, they change the spatial dynamics to align with them at the behest of the men. And when the men complain about it, what do the women say? Make your own space.
I said something like this in one of my other videos, man. These men be creating spaces, and then some women come into them and destroy them. Say, for instance, gaming. Men doing their own thing. Yeah, obviously there's some things in there that are toxic. Don't want to condone that. But just men having the space to kind of express themselves. But then modern women come in and, oh man, I don't like that. How dare you say this? We need to clean this up. It wasn't your space in the first place. But if I come in and clean up your space, then all of a sudden it's misogynistic, it's patriarchal, and all this other foolishness. Y'all literally taking men's info, posting it in other pages, darn near doxing somebody, and then got the nerve to talk about what men do in their own space.
Did you ever notice how women will say they're strong and independent? They don't need no man to take care of them. Yet the very first question these same women ask of a man is, how much money do you make?
Okay, so Evan and I need to install a toilet paper holder, and I need you to help me. I need you to tell me who is correct, because this is our bathroom. We need to put a toilet paper hold somewhere here. There needs to be toilet paper somewhere here. I think, obviously, the only rational place is here. Okay. Evan thinks it should go here. And his rationale is because it's too hard. It's too hard to get the toilet paper there. He needs to get it here. And so to me that seems crazy, but I want to know if I'm alone on that, and where would you put the toilet paper on the wall, or would you put the toilet paper on the cabinet, the toilet paper holder? Okay, let me know. Thank you.
Red flags in women I won't be ignoring this year. One, I've already talked about it. Women who post themselves crying, record it, and post it online. That is clinically insane. If you do that, you are not stable. Also, I assume you're doing that for attention. Either way, it's weird, very bad. Second red flag, any girl that says anything along the lines of, I hate drama is going to be the most drama-filled human being you've ever encountered. They're lying. They actually love it. They thrive and they live for it.
Is always getting on the internet talking about I match energy. Whole time only match negative energy. Be like, if he cheat, I'ma cheat back. No, match that energy when he paying them bills. Pay some too, you old funky.
And here's another thing about men and women is that when you meet a man who's a former hoe, there's always a light air of melancholy about him, kind of like a former professional athlete where like you can tell that they sense their best days are behind them and they'll always be kind of wistful for it. Whereas when you meet a woman who's a former hoe, it very much gives like she took the last chopper out of Nam. Like she knew it was not getting better from there and she's glad to have gotten out when she did. Like a woman who's a former hoe is like, it's very wizard coded to me. It's very Gandalf. It's very like she's accumulated wisdom and collected them in her crystals. Whereas the man is very like former football player who's now commentating and you could tell would give anything to be back on that field for just one day.
I lost all my hoes trying to prove to a hoe that I'm not a hoe, and she turned out to be a hoe, and she's still continuing to be a hoe. But now I have, so now I can be a, so she won. She went up me.
The problem is you go looking for them, and then you get upset when you find out that they really are, and you got played, but you went to go look for them.
Everyone has an ick, right? What is yours?
I don't believe in icks. They don't exist.
Interesting. Okay, explain.
I do not believe they exist. I think if you have an ick, you're not attracted to them. If someone like trips over a curb or like spills their drink or like, I don't know, like trips over doing their laces or whatever these ridiculous icks are, it just means you don't like them enough. If you like them, you'd find it funny or endearing. I don't believe in icks at all.
Fair.
Honestly, like I've had icks in the past, and that's because I don't actually like the person. If I liked them, I'd be like, that was really cute. That was really funny. Or like, he made me smile because he did that. If you're like, oh my God, no, you guys are just not aligned.
So I just seen with no eyebrows say that if you as a woman hit a man and the man hits you back, it means he always wanted to hit you. And that it resonated with me because this is the first time I've seen pre-plan her gaslighting. Like she got in the vault. It's not spur of the moment, spontaneous or nothing. Like this is on her calendar for 2 weeks from now as a reminder. Like, gotta make sure I hit, and after he hits me back, I'm gonna gaslighting him into thinking he manipulated the situation. Like, listen, are taking no accountability to unprecedented levels we have not seen before. This is a part of the game that I don't think has been thoroughly explored. And I say this all because premeditated gaslighting is insane. Like, women who abuse these societal standards that men have to conform to with not being able to put their hand. If you put your hands on a man knowing that he's not going to or he can't hit you back in this situation, you're just as garbage as who escalates physical violence with women. Reason being, you're just abusing a societal standard. You're taking advantage of something. You're not tough. You're not a fighter. Why are you trying to punch on somebody that you know can't hit you? Because you're an abuser yourself.
Play that funky music, white boy. I'm getting ready to go out tonight, y'all. I'm going out in New York, but I got my boots on and everything. Take a look at it. These really collect the boys, if I do say so myself. But in New York, they're gonna be talking about calling me up. And to that tonight, I'm gonna say, you ain't calling nobody. My daddy's got a gun, and I got me my own shotgun too, if I don't say so myself. I'm gonna go order myself a beer. Don't mind if I do.
You wanna know what's so hilarious? The way men pick like 3 friends at 15 and then they're just friends with them for the rest of their lives. And the kicker, they don't know anything about them. They never ask any questions. Like, I'll ask the most basic questions. I'll literally be like, oh, you know, what's your friend's girlfriend's name? They'll be like, I have no idea. You ask how long they've been together, they'll have no idea. You ask anything about their friends, they'll have no idea. Like, what do y'all talk about? I don't understand.
I don't understand why modern women can't just stay in their own business. What do y'all talk about? Why are you worried about it? You have your friends, be with your friends. But y'all have been friends since the 5th grade and y'all don't know y'all don't talk about anything. Why does it matter to you? We have an understanding. Just say you don't understand male friendships and move on with it. We don't sit here nagging and taking down and talking down on your friendships with your women unless it's toxic. Unless we see, hey, she's about to lead you down the wrong path. Be careful. I don't want you dealing with her. She seems to be making this decision, that decision, and that decision. That's not healthy. I would suggest that you stay away from her, which a lot of times y'all don't listen. And then later on down the road, you got to admit the man is right. But can we please leave men alone in relationships and in friendships?
Have we noticed that whenever a man leaves a woman and he's the one to end the relationship, he's always painted as like a villain, especially if they're public figures, because all of a sudden the whole internet goes crazy and all of a sudden he's a piece. How dare a man leave a woman? How dare a man break up with a woman, right? Like that's literally how they paint it if a guy is the one that ends the relationship. But the roles reversed. If a woman leaves a man, it's a celebration. Oh, well, he probably deserved it. He probably cheated. He probably did this. He probably did that. He's probably an asshole. It's so interesting to me because it's like a guy can't even end a relationship with a woman without being painted as the villain, without being painted as the bad guy. When in reality, men usually don't leave relationships. And I think it takes a lot usually for a man to leave a relationship. So when he does, why don't people look at it as in like, oh, men don't usually leave, so there must be a reason that he left. No, they don't. They just want to vilify him. Or maybe he just wanted to leave. Women leave men all the time for no good reason, and it's celebrated and it's totally fine. But if a man leaves a woman, it's the end of the world. How dare he?
So when are Black women gonna hold ourselves accountable for the disgustingness that is coming out of the neighborhood, the disgustingness that we're raising? These children have no respect, they have no morals, no values, and quite frankly, the women don't either. You know, they don't respect the men that they're having these children with, and then they're having children by the same men. So meaning they have a baby with a man that has 2 baby moms already. It's disgusting behavior, and they're not able to properly watch their children because they're so focused and on all these external things. They're focused on this celebrity culture, and they're focused on getting a Louis bag and going outside and party, but they're not focusing on making sure that their children can read. So Black women definitely need to take some accountability with what's going on in the Black community. And I understand that Black men are not in the homes either, but Black women won't allow them to be. Black women are not agreeable. Black women don't like to listen. Black women are masculine. These are the problems that we're having in our community, and Black women must take accountability. I'm sorry.
Y'all still coming online talking about these days guys just don't like women. Look at story times we're getting. If they're not stupid, then they're not liars. Bro, if they're not liars, they setting you up. Like, bro, I don't blame boys, young men, and older men, whatever, for not women. I'm not trying to say men are off the hook, because they definitely got their share of problems. But y'all are so quick to point the fingers at men. What look at what the options are, bro. It's kind of sad, actually. And I'm just kind of laughing because, like, all y'all deserve each other. For real, all y'all deserve each other. The amount of people y'all over, shit on, passed up, don't give out, just for y'all to be the drama for all of us outsiders to be entertained by, is the icing on the cake, let me tell you. Y'all go after people, men and women, that have all these aesthetically pleasing things and all these amenities, but you look at a storyline of a love or romance book, and it's always a girl from a simple town or a guy from a simple town who was nobody, quote unquote. They are a somebody, but because of the world being so shiny and pretty, they look like a nobody. And they're the most people. Like, you all want to go after diamond, but the diamond is in the rough. It's not just going to be exposed. There's no diamonds that are just out there exposed like that. No precious jewels that are just out there exposed. You have to dig and find them. They're not going to just be showing up at your doorstep, flying themselves out. Like, y'all don't really want to find love at the end of the day. Y'all just want drama, and y'all like to be able to, like, so y'all deserve it. All of you. I don't give a.
When I decided that I was going to tell him that I wanted a divorce, we sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? The therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying, and I was like, I want a divorce. He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me. He didn't react at all. He just was stone cold. And eventually our therapist was like, would you like to respond? So he responded right away and he's like, fine, let's just go ahead and finalize the details. Like, I knew that I was ready to leave that day, but I couldn't believe that that was his reaction. There was no empathy. There was no compassion. There was no like wanting to fight for us, and I was like, so what are we going to do? And he just kept playing. And he was like, I already got an apartment. I already took my name off of the lease. So it was like within a couple days he moved out.
He saw you coming from a mile away, and you're sitting up on here on TikTok embarrassing yourself. Modern women, for some reason, want the man to continue to fight for them, and they've made up their mind. You stop that man's schedule to tell him whatever, and really, honestly and truly, you've already made up your mind to leave. But even if you say, well, I knew he was probably going to say this, so that's why I had everything packed, just hoping and praying that he wouldn't do X, Y, and Z. Let's take it from that angle. Why would you do that? This is not a movie. This is real life. The fact that most modern women live in a land of delusion, thinking that you can do this and it'll turn out positive for some reason, is beyond me. Sit down and talk like adults. If the man is not responding, what can you do? I'm not going to even hate if you walk out, right? But you modern women try to give men ultimatums, and then you're stunned when the ultimatum backfires.